All right, ready to dive into The Alchemist.
Absolutely. Let's go.
This book, I mean, it's everywhere, right? People love it. It's like this global phenomenon, The Alchemist, whispering secrets in your ear about like finding your path and chasing your dreams.
Yeah, and what's really striking, I think, is how this book, you know, it almost didn't get published. Coelho talks about it in the foreword.
Right, he did.
And yet it's touched so many lives. It's like by telling Santiago's story, he somehow gave voice to this universal yearning. We all feel it.
Totally. And that's what pulls us in right from the start, right? You've got Santiago, just this young shepherd, but he's got this like this itch, you know? He wants to see the world, experience more than just like the life everyone expects of him. I mean, his parents want him to be a priest,
Right, right.
but that's not his dream.
Not at all. And then there's that dream, the one he keeps having.
Oh man, that dream.
Mhm.
Vivid, right?
Yeah, about finding treasure
Yeah.
at the pyramids in Egypt. But it's not just like the treasure itself, it's how it makes him feel.
Yeah.
You know? It's calling to him.
It's like this nagging feeling like, what does it mean?
Exactly.
Hmm.
And that's where Coelho introduces this idea of a language beyond words, the language of
Mhm.
like omens and symbols
Yeah.
speaking to us, on a deeper level.
It's funny how a dream can do that.
It is.
And then we meet the old woman, the dream interpreter, super mysterious, and she just drops this line, dreams are the language of God. Boom, mic drop.
Right. It makes you stop and think.
He does. What if our dreams really are trying to tell us something, not just random thoughts?
Exactly. Like, what if there's this whole other level of communication happening and we're just starting to tune in?
And Santiago, he decides to listen. He meets Melchizedek, this king, and suddenly he's selling his flock, going after this dream that seems, I don't know,
There's a
impossible.
risk.
Huge. But Coelho, he doesn't make it easy for him. It's not all sunshine and roses.
No, not at all. He gets robbed, loses everything.
It's brutal.
It is. And I think that's important, though. It shows that going after your dreams, your personal legend, it's not always easy. There are setbacks.
Definitely. Obstacles, doubts. You start to wonder, like, is this even worth it?
Exactly. And that's where the crystal merchant comes in, right?
Mhm.
He's got his own dream, wants to go to Mecca, but he's stuck, paralyzed by fear.
He's like the what if guy. What if it doesn't work out?
And Santiago's like, well, what if it does?
Even after getting robbed, he's still looking for signs. He hasn't given up on that language of the world, as he calls it.
It's like he understands that life is still speaking to him, even when things are tough. The question is, are we listening?
He's choosing to trust that voice inside him, that's for sure. Instead of going home, he joins a caravan, right? Heads out into the Sahara Desert. I mean, talk about a leap of faith.
Right. It's like he knows deep down that to really get away from your fear, you have to run straight towards the unknown. That whole caravan thing is a powerful image, like leaving everything behind to chase your dream.
It is. And the desert, it's like its own world. And then Santiago meets that camel driver.
Yeah.
What a character. I mean, he's seen it all, you know?
He has this quiet wisdom about him. And the way he talks about living in the present moment, not getting lost in the past or worrying about the future.
It's like he's found this peace that most of us are still searching for.
Totally. We get so caught up in our heads, But the camel driver, he's grounded, connected to the desert.
Yeah.
And he's the one who tells Santiago about the soul of the world.
Yeah, that idea that we're all connected, like everything is part of this one big, I don't know, energy.
It's like a giant web.
Yeah.
And we're all connected by these invisible threads. It makes you think about Santiago's journey differently, It's not just about finding treasure anymore. It's about something bigger.
Way bigger. Like he's part of this massive interconnected universe, and his actions, his journey, it all means something.
Exactly. And just when you think he's starting to understand all that, boom, he arrives at this oasis and meets Fatima. Love at first sight.
I mean, where did that come from, right?
It's like Coelho is saying, hey, life's not just about achieving goals. It's about opening yourself up to love, too.
And the way he describes their connection, he says, when you know that language, it's easy to understand that someone in the world awaits you.
Wow. Yeah. It's like we all want that, right? To be seen, understood, to find that person who just gets us.
It's a powerful feeling. But it's not easy for Santiago. He's torn between Fatima and his quest. It's like his heart wants one thing, but his soul, his personal legend, it wants something else.
Yeah, it's a tough spot. And that's when the alchemist appears.
Finally.
The alchemist, he's like this, I don't know, this mythical figure full of wisdom and mystery.
He's like Santiago's guide, but not in a, like, straightforward way. He teaches through experience, through challenges.
Yeah.
Makes Santiago face his fears.
It's like those mentors in, like, those old kung fu movies. They make you work for it.
Totally. And he drops these little nuggets of wisdom along the way, like that line, "It's the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting."
It's so true. That possibility, that hope, that's what keeps us going, right?
Exactly. The alchemist, he gets it. He understands the power of dreams. It's intense. He's got love, he's got his personal legend, and then bam, tribal war. Talk about an obstacle.
Right. It's like life or death, stakes now. And that's where the alchemist's words about fear, they really hit you.
There is only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve. The fear of failure. Man.
It's heavy stuff. Santiago's got a choice. Keep going, knowing it could be dangerous, or play it safe. I mean, it's easy to say be courageous, but this is the real deal.
It's like fear is natural, right? It's what you do with it that matters. And Santiago, he's full of these crazy metaphors, like turning himself into the wind. I mean, what does that even mean?
It's about transformation, right?
Yeah.
Letting go of the things that are holding you back. Beliefs, old habits, all that. It's not easy, but that's where the real magic happens. When you surrender to something bigger than yourself, like you literally become something new.
And then there's that scene with the sun. It's like more than just a pretty sunset.
Or way more. It's like a spiritual awakening. Santiago sees how everything is connected, the love that flows through everything. He's part of something huge.
It's kind of hard to wrap your head around. But then he's back in the desert, facing reality again, and he gets to the pyramids, right? The place he's been dreaming of.
You'd think he'd be ecstatic.
But he's full of doubt. Like, what now? Maybe it is anticlimactic, a little bit.
No, I get it. We put so much energy into chasing our dreams, but then when we achieve them, there's this weird emptiness. It's like, is that it?
And remember that scarab beetle? It pops up again at the pyramids, leading him to where he thinks the treasure is. He gets robbed. Again. Beaten. Left with nothing.
Brutal. But maybe it was another test, like stripping away everything he thought he knew, everything he thought he wanted, to show him what was really important.
And the treasure, it wasn't at the pyramids. It was back in Spain, under that sycamore tree, where it all began.
It's like Coelho saying, sometimes what you're looking for is right in front of you.
Or inside you, even. The real treasure was the journey, right? The lessons, the growth, the love. Santiago, he was a different person by the end.
Exactly. The gold, it was just a symbol. The real magic was the transformation he went through. That's what The Alchemist is all about. Finding your own personal legend, facing your fears, and becoming the best version of yourself.
Wow. What a journey, right? It makes you think about your own life, your own dreams. What are we chasing? And what are we willing to do to get there?
Maybe the real question is, where will the journey take us? Because it's not always about the destination. It's about who we become along the way.
That's it, right there. That's the magic of The Alchemist. So keep listening to that voice inside you, the one that's calling you forward. And keep chasing your own personal legend. Until next time.